Hello and welcome to the recap for today, the 14th of July. In this episode I'll be going over the important WoW news of the last week. So the first thing I have to talk about is the new cloak effects. Now, these are pretty cool. They're adding new spell effects to the legendary cloaks. These will be displayed when the cloak special ability procs. So yeah, overall I think it's pretty damn cool. Now another little thing, the proc will appear if you're shapeshifted or like you're shadow formed or something. So if you are a tree druid, you are still going to get your delicious proc, and I must say they look pretty cool, as you can see in the background. So for the next thing we have PvP mounts. This is pretty nice as well. They're adding two new PvP mounts to the game. These are the Vicious Skeletal Warhorse and the Vicious Warsaber. These are obtained by getting a PvP achievement that involves winning a certain number of 3v3 arenas and rated battlegrounds. Now the numbers are currently 100 3v3s and 40 rated battlegrounds, but the devs did seem to indicate that this number would change, so watch this space. Now the next thing's probably the big controversy of the week, and it is the in-game store. So they are adding gameplay affecting items in the item store. Now, the big thing is that this is Asia only at the minute, but the worry is, of course, that the money they'd make would probably make people, spread out. So the items are a 100% XP boost and a way to get more lesser charms. Now they've said nothing about pricing and availability for the service. Now, as far as Asia goes, this makes sense, because people can do a lot of things in Asia, like, I think they can buy gear, I'm not sure. They can pay by the hour, loads of crazy stuff. It's just because Asia is a place where the people would only really want to pay for when they play instead of the monthly subscription, because if you look at their GDP, and a lot of people don't have as much money as sort of the equivalent Westerner would, so the business model needs to be able to cater to that market, and it's a market that is generally quite receptive to things like this. Now, the thing is that people are worried about is whether this will go into the West, because if it was going into the West, it would either be as a free-to-play game or sort of in tandem with a subscription model. Now, if it is on top of a subscription, I'd be very pissed off, and you can check the channel for my rant on it. Pretty much the TLDR version of this is that I think it rewards bad development practice, so why take a grind like lesser charms or leveling and make it more fun when you could just sell away to get past the shoddy part of your game? That worries me, and I really hope that it doesn't sort of transpire like that. So the next thing we have is new Transmog items and Vanity Store items, so more store things, more money. Yes, they're adding 3 new Vanity Transmog Helms to the store. These are called the Jewel of the Firelord, the Hood of Hungering Darkness, and the Crown of Eternal Winter. These are cosmetic only and have no stats, so Blizzard has said nothing about pricing or availability yet, but I would say probably during 5.4 and between $10 and $20, which I think is too much for a helm. Now they're also adding some consumable items, similar to the TCG stuff. They're called the Seesaw and the Iron Hitchling Post. So the Seesaw will let you seesaw with people. Why one would pay money to seesaw with somebody, and I don't get it. So yeah, there's that. And then the next thing is the Iron Hitchling Post. So what the Iron Hitchling Post does is it puts down a post like a mount sort of rain post thingy, and when you click on it, your mount is transformed into an Iron Warhorse, and it's the same for your entire party. And the thing Blizzard seemed to be touting was it'd be pretty cool in a battleground if you put down the post and then your entire team is charging forth in the same mount, because that's totally worth your money. I have a little bit of an issue with paying money for a kind of, I know, I just have an issue for paying money for stuff like this in general, especially because these things would run out, and after all, what would you have for it? Really not that much. It's not like you'd have great memories, is it? Now the final thing I'm going to cover in today's show is the new PTR build. So it adds a whole bunch of Timeless Isle items and hints to a revamped Winter's Veil, and this is pretty interesting actually. So a recent update added quite a few things. There are a multitude of items that have been added to the Timeless Isles. This is mainly things like buffs to run speed, a rope that lets you access a certain area, fire resistance buff, buffs to the amount of timeless coins that drop. Now timeless coins, by the way, they're like the currency for the island. So it definitely seems like they're ramping up to do testing on the isle, and that's something I'll plan on jumping in fully. Now the next thing, and the final thing for the show, is that they have added new Winter Veil items. So there's a Riding Turtle, a Path of Cenarius, it's basically a winter version of the TCG one, a 16 slot bag, and 2 loot bags. And it would appear that it does appear that this is indicating an update to the holiday, which is probably something I'd say is long due. And yeah, that'd be very nice. The only interesting thing I think is that this this is being added in 5.4, and with the Christmas holiday being 6 months away, that would probably indicate that maybe there's not a patch in between now and Christmas, although 5.5, if it was happening, which they said it might, would drop between then. So really it's tentative and we can't say anything for sure. So that's it for the news. If you want to stick around for like another minute, I'll be talking about the channel. So the next sort of few weeks, not few weeks, like a week and a bit, I'll be doing stuff for Steam. Now it's the Steam sale. If you're not a big PC gamer, then it's definitely something you should check out. I know this is mainly a World of Warcraft channel, but I like to introduce my subscribers to more games, and the Steam sale is the perfect cheap way to do that. So if you're interested in games as a whole, check out those videos. In terms of other things, I've been doing a whole bunch of mod things. It's called Mod My WoW, which is probably a terrible name, but hey, I'm crap at branding. So yeah, I just look at mods and things. If anyone wants me to take a look at a certain mod, or they couldn't be bothered to look it for themselves, well, I'm happy to make a video for it. So like, leave a request or something, and I should be able to get around to it. And in terms of other things, I'm going to be starting Heroic Raiding next week, so there's a chance I'll be bringing you some videos, but I don't really know what format or anything like that. It's not like I could do a guide because they're already done at this stage. So yeah, we'll see. But that's really it, actually. So yeah, if you liked the video, please hit that like button, and if you want to subscribe, then please do, because it helps me out a ton. So yes, thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.